What up? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's little video is going to be on how to cream and powder contour, more of an in-depth how to contour, also how to bake as well. I did a video on this entire look and I'll pop the link down below, that way you can check out the full look, so the eyeshadow, everything like that. Hopefully you guys get some tips, tricks, get a little bit more confidence with playing around with contour. I know I get asked so much, how do I contour, where do I put what do I use, what's better, cream, powder, everything like that. I also get asked how to bake as well, and if it's necessary or what products to use for that as well. So that's why I created this little video. So if you want to see how I did this, then keep on watching. Okay, so what I want to do first before I put on any of my foundation is I want to color correct. So I'm going to grab a few different things that I use to color correct, and I like to use my LA Girl Pro Concealers. These are the color correcting. So you've got your green color corrector and the orange as well. So I use these ones. I also use my Morphe color wheel. So this has pretty much every color you'll need. It does have the orange, green, yellow, purple, and your peach tone, but it also has a white. So if you find they're too strong in color, which these are very, very pigmented, I mix it in with the white just to make it a little bit more pale. So the purple will come lavender, things like that. Ooh. So the first color corrector I'm going to grab is going to be the green one from LA Girl, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out onto my hand. I find if I squeeze it straight out of the tube and put it directly on, I'll put way too much on. And green color correctors are the best to counteract any redness in the skin. So for me, I get breakouts all the time and my skin can get quite red and inflamed. So I use the green on areas that I want to neutralize that redness. And I always get a little bit of redness around my nose, especially being wintertime. So now that I look super funny, I'm going to grab the orange color corrector from LA Girl, and I'm going to use this to help counteract the darkness under my eyes. I'm pretty lucky I don't have a lot of darkness under my eyes. I don't really get dark circles that strongly, so I don't need a lot of this, but the orange and peach sort of color correctors help to neutralize any kind of blue, purple sort of tones in the skin. So it's perfect for under eye dark circles, if you get pigmentation or anything like that. So it's really perfect for under there. So I don't want a lot of this, so I'm just going to pop a few little spots under my eyes. And now that I look even scarier, I'm going to grab my Morphe color wheel and I'm going to grab the purple shade and mix a tiny little bit of the white just to make a really nice lavender color. Alright, so I just scooped out a bit of the purple and a bit of the white on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to mix the two together. This is just a BH Cosmetics concealer brush. So now that I've got a perfect shade of lavender, I'm going to pop a little bit of that on top of my eyes to neutralize that yellow. A little bit of that around my mouth as well, because I do get a little bit of discoloration. And now I look like a massive weirdo. And I'm going to blend all this in with my BH Cosmetics No. 5 brush. And for foundation, I'm going to grab my Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation. This one is in the shade 26, and I've also got the shade 27 here. This one's a little bit too dark, this one's a little bit too light. I just mixed the two together. So what I'm going to do is give them both a really good shake, and I'm just going to grab both and dot them around my face. Little bits at a time with this as well, because it is like a foundation concentrate. It is super, super matte. Just doing section by section goes a lot better than if you try and just kind of dab it all over and then buff it in after or blend it in. It's a hot mess if you try and do it that way, just because it dries so quickly and you won't be able to move it. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the darker one in there. And I'm going to grab my trusty beauty blender as always and blend that in. As you can see, it's super full coverage, so I'm going to bring that further into my face. Now I am going to cream contour and highlight as well, but I do want to put a little bit of concealer under my eyes first. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. I always like to put a concealer underneath my cream highlight just because the concealer doesn't crease, whereas sometimes the cream highlight can. So if I have that kind of base underneath with the if I have that base underneath with my concealer, it prevents creasing a little bit more. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this under my eyes. And blend it out with my beauty blender. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cream contour my face, and I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit in the shade Light. This is perfect because it has pretty much every shade that you need. And I'm also going to use my Iconic London Powder Contour Kit on the other side. So we're going to do one half with cream, one half with powder, so we can see the difference. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab the Cream Contour Kit, and I'm going to grab these two shades here. So I'm going to mix the two together and just pop that around the face. And then I'm going to go in with the darker one and use that to contour a little bit more. And I'm going to use my Sigma Large Shader Brush. This is an E60. It's a perfect synthetic brush to use for creams. Just dipping my brush into both and marking out the areas that I want to cream contour. Now you don't have to be too specific with the shape that you kind of do it in. So the easiest way to explain what kind of shape you do is just imagine a shape of a 3 on your face. That's the way that I tell my clients and everything like that. It's the easiest way to explain where to contour, where to put what. So pretty much the 3 would start here. So it would go along here, down along the sides of the face. You want to kind of frame the face. So you want everything to blend smoothly into the hairline. And then you're going to come underneath the cheekbone here. So if you have a bit of trouble finding your cheekbone, there's a couple of little tricks. I usually find just kind of feeling it, and then you feel that little dip. So that dip is kind of where your cheekbone is, and you always want to blend upwards. Another trick that people like to do is to grab a brush and you set it to the top of your ear and then line it up with your mouth, and that's pretty much where your cheekbone will sit. That's kind of a good guide to where to contour. So that's kind of the middle of the 3, and then you want to bring it underneath your jawline. So as long as it's all sort of connected and you've got underneath as well, it's going to look a lot more smooth than just one kind of strong contour line there. So I'm just going to do my 3 shape and always go along the hairline. Then when I get under the jaw, I bring it all the way in. And then if you want to get really extra and cream contour your nose, so what I would do is I would grab a brush like this. So this one is just a BH Cosmetics concealer brush, and you just want to bring a little bit along the side of the nose. I always start sort of that center and bring up, and a good little trick is getting in here, because you'll notice a lot more of a difference just by doing this little bit in here. And then bring it down. And I don't go all the way down here. Bring it along here. Go in like that. So on the other side, I would do another sort of little V shape. I would kind of continue that because we're going to save that side for the powder. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that darker shade, just that very dark shade over here. I'm going to just give it a little bit more definition in here. And throw a little bit more in here because I find I have a very big forehead, so I want to cancel most of this out. And a bit under the jaw. Now I'm going to grab my beauty blender again and blend that all in. Now for the highlight. So I'm going to grab the 2 lighter shades on the end. This one is the banana shade and this one's a little bit lighter. So I'm just going to mix the 2 together and highlight the other areas of my face. And I'm just going to use my Morphe E10 brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these lighter shades to contour my nose. This is a little trick I remember watching Emreezy do ages ago, and I have been obsessed with it, and it's my best trick to contour a nose more than using a contour shade. I'm going to start putting it under the eye, same way we would do the concealer, but what I'm going to do is bring it up onto my nose a little bit more, and using the side of the brush, drawing a nice little line down the nose and coming in around here, and then I bring it up onto the eye as well. And then I'm going to pop that lighter shade on as well, just in the middle. And now I get my brush on its side and go up in the middle. Bring it along here as well. And I would do the other side. And taking the brush on its side again, I'm going to bring it down my nose. We'll do a little bit of highlight on the Cupid's bow. Now I'm doing the center of the face mostly because that's what I would usually have done my concealer with. And now I'm going to take my Beauty Blender again and blend that in. Now, before I put the powders on the other side of the face and do my baking, I'm going to put highlight on first. So I want to use a liquid illuminator on this side, and then I'll be using a powder on the other side. I swear by this liquid illuminator, my iconic London illuminator drops. So I'm gonna pop a few drops of this on. Down. And I'm going to use my Beauty Blender again to blend that in. Alright, so now I'm going to powder contour on the other side. So I'm going to grab my iconic London powder contour kit and use my Morphe E5 brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the two darker shades on the outside and I'm just going to mix them together. And we're pretty much going to do the exact same thing that we did with the cream, just with powder. I'm just going to start in here. And now I'm going to grab that middle shade there, which is just a little bit of a lighter, more ashy tone. It's perfect for contouring the nose, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take that on my Sigma eye shading brush, the E55, and pretty much doing the exact same thing that we did with the cream. So because I put the lighter concealer under my eyes, that's pretty much my highlight, but I will set it in place with a powder. So I'm going to grab my Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm going to use this to bake, and I'm going to grab my Beauty Blender again. So what you can do with powders like this is you can get a pair of tweezers and pop off this little stopper here, but I find I don't need to, so I just get a decent amount into the lid. So now that I've got a sufficient amount in the lid, plenty in here to use that to bake. So I'm going to get my Beauty Blender, which is damp. So I always use my Beauty Blender as damp. So you want to dip your Beauty Blender in that powder and get a lot on there. So really pack it on, and you're going to have something that looks like that. And I'm going to set where I put the concealer and the cream highlight right under the eye, and you want to pat it in. So I'm getting the very edge of that to carve out that nose. Patting it all the way along. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. And I'm going to use this to carve out my contour. So popping it just under where we did the cream and the powder contour. You want to get a really nice sharp line there. So this time I'll drag it. And then I'm going to bake my T-zone as well, just because that does get oily. So baking is perfect for that. Now that you look nice and scary again. So some people like to leave it on for as long as they can. I don't leave it on that long. I don't feel like I need to. So pretty much straight away, I like to dust it off. So I grab my Sigma Tapered Highlight, the F35, my favorite brush. And you just want to flick that powder away. So rather than kind of blending it into the skin, you're flicking all the excess away. Just gotta keep applying more lip balm because my lips are so dry. So for the powder side, I'm gonna grab my O4 Rodeo Drive highlighter and I'm gonna pop that on with my Anastasia Beverly Hills A23 brush, my favorite highlight brush there is. So that is the difference between cream and powder. So cream contouring, cream highlight or liquid highlight, powder contouring, powder highlight, everything like that. So hopefully that was something you guys could understand, and I hope that that makes it a little bit easier for you just to understand the concept of contouring and cream versus powder, and also the idea of baking as well. Now I'm going to pop a bit of blush on, and this is the one thing that I never really do cream with. Haven't found a good cream blush that I like, so powder all the way for me. I'm going to grab my MAC blush in the shade Pinch Me. This is one of my favorite blush shades ever. I'm just going to grab a BH Cosmetics brush. This is a number 2. Alright, so that is the finished video. This is the finished look. So I did the rest of my makeup. I did my eyeshadow, brows, lashes, everything like that. I will have the full video of this linked down below if you haven't seen it already, so you can see the full look. But I hope you guys learned a little bit of something with this. I hope it helped you out with contouring, highlighting, where to put what products to use, are the creams better, powders better, how to bake, everything like that. So hopefully you guys got a little bit of something. Hopefully it helps you understand a little bit more. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, I really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell as well. That way you don't miss out on a single video. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more how-tos, like more in-depth, you know, if you want to see like brow tutorials, how to put on lashes, anything like that. Pop some comments down below as well. Let me know what you want to see next in a how-to sort of vibe. Thank you so much for watching, guys. As always, I will see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye!